the press conference that Issa Tchiroma's team had in France, Paris. So a lot of people have been speculating, have been thinking, have been asking questions, what is going on? It's just like being a referee for a match, for a soccer match or for a football match, like we call it in Cameroon, for a football match. And you're a referee, but the players decide or dictate the rules of the game. You understand? Which means you were there, but they can decide that whatever you're saying does not really make sense. I hope you get the point. Hello everyone, salut tout le monde. Welcome to another video on Cameroon as we unpack and unravel what is going on in Cameroon. Thank you very much for tuning in for this episode. I really appreciate each and every one of you for everything you do, liking our videos, subscribing to our channel, sharing our videos with your loved ones, family and friends. We cannot do it without you. So stay tuned and hang tight to the end of this episode to enjoy every single thing that I have to say. I really appreciate you. I'm just your humble servant. Thank you very much. And today we're going to start with no other person than Issa Tchiroma Bakary. We had a lot of news come out yesterday, especially after the press conference that Issa Tchiroma's team had in France, Paris. So a lot of people have been speculating, have been thinking, have been asking questions, what is going on? So what we got from that, from that press conference is that they're going to be taking legal action. They said a lot of things, but what we can say, is from if we want to summarize it, is that they're going to take legal action, which begs the question, what kind of legal action and which institution or which court are they going to, take that case to? Is it in Cameroon, or is it the International Court of Justice, or is it through the United Nations Human Rights Committee or something like that? Where are they going to take that case to? That's a problem that we have to figure out. Why am I saying this? Because in as much as they said all those things, they did not tell us something which is very, very important, and that is time. Time is the essence here. So we have to understand that if we are taking the legal avenue, which is good, we have to know that we have to be patient. That's the truth. If you want to take any legal avenue, you have to be patient. Why am I saying this? If you take your phone right now, or wherever you're watching me, just take your phone and then you check how long does the average case take in the International Criminal Court. You're going to see something. You figure out that sometimes it takes 6 years, 6 months, average. There have been some cases in the International Criminal Court that were handled less than that time frame. The case of 1 year was not. It had nothing to do with a political leader that influenced any election. It was not election related. And you're going to realize the one with 2 years, about 2 years and some months, was a political figure from the Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Congo Kinshasa to be precise. And you're going to realize that it's going to take time. So if we want to work with the average, you realize that if we are taking the legal avenue, let's say with the route of the International Criminal Court, and we're looking at 6 years and 6 months, and then you're asking yourself, 6 years and 6 months, that's the whole time frame where Paul Biya will, the election, his whole mandate should be over around that time. So which begs the question, will it be effective, and how does it really help the Cameroonian people? So these are some of the questions and the complexities that we got to be asking ourselves at this point in time, because it's the truth. It's the truth. So we're going through the legal means. The question, which institution? Are we going through the United Nations Human Rights? If you're going through United Nations Human Rights, then you're going to understand too that there's a lot of complexities that is involved in that process. And you realize in a United Nations setting, there's a lot of political influence that can happen, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And you know how Cameroon is. If you can imagine that Philemon Yang was the president of the United Nations, which shows you the level of influence that Paul Biya can, put in that institution. So you see, there are a lot of complexities in this situation. It's not, oh, boom, this thing is just going to happen. Boom, it's going to happen. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, yeah, we have to know that this is a complex case, and if the legal avenue that they're pursuing is the right option at this point in time, you see, me, I'm just going to give my opinion straightforward. I'm not saying, like, there's nothing that I say, oh, no, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be. Nah. I'm just giving my opinion, and everybody's free to voice out your concern, and I'm voicing out it, and I'm saying it the way it is, and I'm honest. Because if you think I'm lying, take your phone, like I said earlier, and check the average time frame for a case in the International Criminal Court or the via the United Nations Human Rights. You're going to realize that it takes years. It takes a long time. There's nothing that's just going to happen. But next month, we already have a decision now, because there's a lot of investigation and the process that takes, there's a lot of procedures that have to be in place. And they cannot just, do things like that and just come into a swift judgment without, taking the time to get all that stuff. And one thing about the International Criminal Court that you have to understand is, it's not this court that, oh, boom, has jurisdiction for over every country and says, International Criminal Court rather, it does not have every, country under its palms. No, it does not work like that. So it does not have any police force and stuff like that. So it hopes that everybody will respect its decision. It's just like, we like sports. It's just like being a referee for a match, for a soccer match or for a football match, like we call it in Cameroon, like for a football match. And you're a referee, but the players decide or dictate the rules of the game. You understand? Which means you were there, but they can decide that whatever you're saying does not really make sense. I hope you get the point. So if you really look at the International Criminal Court and some judgment that they pulled, and you see, like for the case of Sudan, they totally rejected anything that came out of International Criminal Court. So you see, there are a lot of things. If we're going through the International Criminal Court, because I don't know, the legal team have not given us a clear direction. I don't know, giving us a clear idea, a clear plan of what we're trying to do. They just said we're going to use legal avenues, which is a great thing. But the people want to know, okay, you're saying we're going to use legal avenue. How long is it going to take? The typical time frame. We got to prepare everybody, because the thing is, you cannot sell this thing and then you make people have false hope and they believe in, because I'm telling you, the average person in Cameroon right now just believes that, oh, because they did a press conference and they said there's going to be legal, they're going to take the legal route and make sure that they pursue and bring Paul Biya out of office for all the things and the crimes that he has committed against Cameroonians. But the truth is, it's not something that's just going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen tomorrow, because the average Joe in Cameroon is going to believe that, oh, it's instantaneous. No, it does not work like that. So I'm just preparing your mind to let you know that this is a process. It's going to take for a long time. If it goes through the International Criminal Court, boom, it's going to take a long time. I heard some people talking about International Court of Justice. They're in the same location in The Hague, Netherlands, but they're two different things. International Criminal Court takes care of individuals, while the International Court of Justice takes care of dispute between countries. So there's a difference and there's a clear distinction. And there's a particular type of cases that the International Criminal Court takes. They don't take any type of case. And there are a lot of complexities when it comes to the criteria that is going to go to the International Criminal Court. So there are a lot of things. There's a long process and there's a long time for all these things, to play out. So we are looking at years, my brothers and sisters. It pains me to say that, but if we're going through the legal route, because I don't believe that they're going to, knowing how the regime have grip over all the judicial system in Cameroon, they're not going to bring anything to Cameroon to say, oh, they want to do, all the the judges in Cameroon are CBDM militants? No, it can't work. So they have to go through the international route. So you're going to the international route, and they will, have their procedures, and they're going to take the time to do whatever they want to do. And you're going to realize it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time. And everybody should be prepared for that. That's the truth. And it's a sad reality, but it's the truth. If we're going through the legal route, everybody have to understand that it's going to take a long time. It's not going to just happen instantaneous. Nope. If nobody told you that, I'm telling you that. And I'm not saying that, what I'm saying is final. Go check it out and see how long does it take. And then what other routes, what other avenue can be way faster and way quicker? It's international pressure. You can file the case and you can use the legal avenue, but you have to be smart about the whole thing. I said yes, but you see there are some ways to go about these things. So if you put in the case in the International Criminal Court, or let's say you use the United Nations, stuff like that, and then you try to use bodies like the EU, African Union, and stuff like that to put pressure, mount pressure on the regime, put pressure with different mechanisms. They added mounting pressure. And then, that pressure start leading to something else. All of a sudden, boom, there's a regime change. And like France have a lot of influence when it comes to Cameroon. So use the United European Union, African Union, and stuff like that. So there are a lot of things that happens. So even if they file the case with the International Criminal Court or the United Nations, human rights, whatever, there's still ways, to get it, but you have to make sure that every step you take is the right one, because any wrong step takes years, to rectify. Why? Because the process is so complicated and there's no straightforward part. It's so complex. So those are some of the things I want everybody to know. And the team have to make sure that they're letting the Cameroonian people know fair and square. Okay, yeah, we're taking the legal avenue. This is what we're trying to do. Okay, yep, this is how long it might take. And if we get it right, we might, do it in record times, by, talking with this country, talking with that country, making sure they're in alignment with what we're trying to do with this. Oh, we have allies in Africa, like we have the Gambia. They're trying to make sure that everything transition properly. We're trying to use the African Union, then European Union, and all of a sudden the trickle-down effect occurs. So we have to understand this. So if you give it a breakdown, people understand, even though sometimes you say something like this, people get frustrated and they'll be like, oh no, this is not what I was hoping for, probably I got to leave, because there's a lot of emotion, especially when it comes to this situation and this subject. We all have varying emotions. People are saying, now we want a resolution right now, but it doesn't happen like that. So I believe if the team is clear in this aspect, is going to go a long way, and it's going to help everybody understand that this is a process and we all have to work together and then bring our ideas together to ensure that we are taking the right steps, the right approach, and no one is left behind. So we all contribute positively. So if we do anything that is wrong, we all are held accountable, because we hold one another in high regards, and we know that we messed up collectively, and then we try to figure out how can we, make sure that the strategies or the approach that we're taking will, move forward in a positive direction. So we have to make sure that every single thing that we do is in accordance with the principle of collective success. So yeah, that's the breaking news. If you did not know that it takes years for stuff like that to happen. Our case can be different, and our case might be different. You never know, especially when it comes to international politics. You cannot just say, it's definite. This is what is going to happen. That is what is going to happen, because cases take 6 years, because cases take 4 years, because cases take 2 years, because cases take 1 year and above. Our case is going to be the same. You never know. Sometimes you might do things like that and boom, all of a sudden things happen. But I'm just trying to get your expectation. You have to know, even if you want to work with something that is, fast, you have to take the 2 years time frame. 2 years, and then you say, okay, that's the reasonable time frame. But if you're going less than 2 years, it's better to, put your expectation at a certain point and then you surpass it. Because I'm telling you, there's no way that we're going to fire that kid. They're going to fire that thing. And then boom, next month, we have a result. No, it's not going to work like that. I'm going to be surprised and I'm going to shock, even though I'll be the first person to celebrate and be happy if that happened. If that were to be the case, I will be the first person to jubilate, celebrate. But I just want to let everybody know, understand, it's a process and it's going to take time. People are going to be disappointed. People are going to be frustrated. But that is how it will be, especially when it comes to international politics, international law. There's a lot of things that have to be put in place. It don't just happen instantly. There's a process. So my people, I hope you're still with me, and I hope that you understand. I just wanted to let you guys know about this thing. So international law, there's a lot of complexities, and it will happen, but it will take some time. It will take some time, and you got to make sure that all the strategies are in place. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I really appreciate you, and see you in the next episode. Au revoir à tout le monde. Bye bye.